I noticed the exact moment when Margaret stopped loving me. It wasn't when she filed for divorce 6 months ago, or even when she moved into the guest bedroom last Christmas. It was 3 years earlier during the Hendersons' annual summer gala, when Charles Denton, a senior partner at a rival law firm, mentioned his new vacation home in St. Kitts. I watched her eyes dart to me, just for a second, measuring and finding me wanting. "We've been looking at properties in Maine," she'd said, her champagne flute gripped a bit too tightly. I remember thinking that we hadn't discussed any such thing, but I smiled and nodded anyway. That was always our dynamic. Margaret reaching, me acquiescing. Until I couldn't anymore. "It says here you're contesting nothing in the settlement," my lawyer Richard says, eyebrows raised as he reviews my paperwork. "The house, the investments, even the art collection you spent 15 years building. That's unusual, Daniel." I shift in the leather chair and adjust my cuffs. "It's fine." "It's not fine." Richard leans forward. "She's asking for everything but your personal effects and a percentage of your future earnings. This is punitive and we can fight it." "I don't want to fight. I want this over quickly." Richard sighs and tosses his pen onto the documents. "We've been friends since law school, long before either of us joined this firm. This is about the investigation, isn't it?" His voice drops to nearly a whisper. He knows me too well. I don't answer directly. "Schedule the mediation for next Thursday if possible. I have a meeting with the SEC the following Monday." His expression softens with something resembling pity. "Let me help you. The firm's troubles don't have to be yours. You've always been careful, not careful enough." I stand up, smoothing my tailored suit jacket, a birthday gift from Margaret 2 years ago when appearances still mattered to both of us. "Just get it done, Richard. Please." As I walk out, I catch my reflection in his office window. I look thinner than 6 months ago. More gray in my hair. But my eyes are clearer than they've been in years. The first time I noticed the irregularities in the Olympus Fund accounts was 18 months ago. Nothing obvious, just numbers that didn't quite make sense, explanations that required too many steps. I brought my concerns to Walter Phillips himself, the managing partner whose name adorned our letterhead and whose portrait hung in the lobby. "Daniel," he'd said, bourbon in hand though it was barely past noon, "you're overthinking this. Let the finance team handle the details." He clapped my shoulder. "Besides, CFE got that big promotion coming up. Senior partner. Corner office. Margaret must be thrilled." She was. That night she'd kissed me with real passion for the first time in months. We opened a bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild that we'd been saving. She talked about renovating the kitchen, adding a pool, finally taking that trip to Singapore she'd been wanting. "You deserve this," she'd said as she curled against me in bed. "We deserve this." The next day I found myself reassigned from the Olympus Fund to other accounts. But the irregularities kept nagging at me. I couldn't let it go. 3 months later I had enough evidence to be certain. GP&W wasn't just cutting corners, we were facilitating a massive fraud. And my name was on key documents. When I approached Walter again, this time with specific concerns, his demeanor changed entirely. "You need to consider your future here very carefully, Daniel," he'd said, "no bourbon this time, just cold eyes." And what continued scrutiny might mean for everyone involved. I understood the warning. I also understood that I was in too deep to simply walk away. That night I created an encrypted email account and reached out to an old classmate at the SEC. "You're not even trying," Margaret says, pacing our kitchen, her kitchen now according to the settlement draft. $2.3 million for the house, half your shares in the firm, alimony based on your current salary. I'm entitled to more. I look up from my coffee. "You're getting everything you asked for." "That's exactly my point," she snaps. When someone immediately gives you everything in a negotiation, it means they know it's still a good deal for them. She stops, eyes narrowing. "What aren't you telling me?" For a moment I'm tempted to tell her everything, about the fraud, the investigation, the plea deal I've negotiated that will keep me out of prison but destroy my career. About how worthless those firm shares she wants will be in a matter of weeks. About how the name Greenberg Phillips and Wade will soon be toxic in every financial publication and courthouse in the country. Instead I say, you filed for divorce because you said I was emotionally unavailable and overly focused on work. Why are you looking for hidden motives now? Her laugh is sharp. Don't play dumb, Daniel. It doesn't suit you. We both know what this is about. You couldn't give me what I wanted. And what was that exactly? A life worth living. The words explode from her. Do you know what it's like being married to someone who's content with adequacy? Partner at a good but not top-tier firm. A nice but not spectacular house. One vacation a year. Always saving, always careful. She shakes her head. Meanwhile, Eliza Denton is on her third trip to Europe this year while Charles just made senior managing partner at Westfield. I think of the offshore accounts I've discovered the millions Walter and the other senior partners have siphoned from client funds. The lifestyle they've built on stolen money. Is that what Margaret wanted all along? I'm sorry I couldn't be Charles Denton for you, I say quietly. Her expression hardens. At least Charles understands ambition. I finish my coffee and place the cup in the sink. I'll be out by the end of the week. You can have the house staged for sale after that. As I walk away, she calls after me, the mediation is still on for Thursday. Don't be late. I don't turn around. I wouldn't miss it. The SEC offices are sterile, beige walls, generic furniture, fluorescent lighting. I've been here 9 times now, each visit carefully concealed from both my wife and my colleagues. Special Agent Clark slides a folder across the table to me. These are the final terms of your immunity agreement. Full cooperation, comprehensive testimony, surrender of your law license. I scan the document, though I already know what it contains. The announcement will come next Monday. She nods. Simultaneous indictments and press releases. 22 individuals including all senior partners except you. Asset freezes across the board. She pauses. You understand that your cooperation remains confidential until then? I understand. And you still don't want witness protection? Some of these people are going away for a long time, Mr. Harlow. They'll know who helped make that happen. I think about Margaret, about the house that will soon belong to her, about the firm shares she's demanded in the settlement. No protection needed, I say. After next week I'll be starting over somewhere new anyway. The mediation room is too warm. Margaret sits across the table looking elegant in a navy dress that probably cost more than my first car. Her lawyer, a shark in Louboutin shoes named Rebecca, is reviewing the settlement terms with thinly veiled suspicion. And Mr. Harlow is prepared to liquidate his 401k to provide the initial alimony payment, she asks. Richard starts to object but I cut him off. Yes. Rebecca exchanges a glance with Margaret. And the firm shares? She can have them all, I say. I won't be needing them. This raises Rebecca's perfectly sculpted eyebrows. You're planning to leave Greenberg Phillips and Wade? That's not been disclosed previously. Richard jumps in, my client's future employment plans aren't relevant to this settlement. I meet Margaret's eyes across the table. There's something there, not concern exactly but calculation. She's always been quick. Is there something wrong at the firm? She asks directly. Nothing I can discuss, I reply. Rebecca leans forward. If you're aware of impending issues that would affect the value of these assets. I've said all I can say, I interrupt. Margaret asked for the shares. She's getting them. The mediator, a retired judge with a perpetual frown, clears his throat. Let's move on to the division of personal property. As they discuss furniture and artwork, I watch Margaret. She's distracted now, her mind working. I can almost see her weighing possibilities, considering angles. This was what attracted me to her in law school, that sharp, relentless intelligence. She could dissect a problem from every side, finding solutions where others saw only obstacles. When did that quality turn from her solving problems with me to solving the problem of me? After the mediation, Margaret catches me in the parking garage. "What's happening at GP&W?" she demands, her hand on my arm forcing me to stop. "The settlement is signed. It doesn't matter now. It matters to me." Her grip tightens. "If you know something. Like you said, I was always too focused on work." I gently remove her hand. "Maybe you were right about that." She steps back, studying me with new wariness. "This isn't like you, Daniel. The passive surrender. The secrets." For a moment I see a flicker of the woman I married, the one who knew me, really knew me, before status and possessions became her measuring stick. "Maybe you don't know me as well as you thought," I say. "Or maybe I know you too well." Her voice softens slightly. "Whatever this is, we can figure it out. Delay the divorce if necessary." I almost laugh at the transparency. "Worried about your settlement?" Her eyes harden again. "Worried about you actually. But clearly that's wasted energy." As she turns to leave, I call after her, "Margaret." She pauses without turning around. "Check the news on Monday. All your questions will be answered then." She walks away without looking back. The weekend passes in a blur of cardboard boxes and packing tape. I've taken a small furnished apartment across town, just a temporary stop before I move out of state. Most of our possessions, my possessions, are going into storage or to charity. 15 years of accumulated life distilled to what fits in my car. I find myself lingering over certain items: the framed photo from our honeymoon in Kyoto, a ceramic vase we bought on our 5th anniversary, books with both our marginalia intertwined on the pages. Each one carries memories that I'm not quite ready to sort into keep or discard boxes. On Sunday night, my phone buzzes with a text from Margaret: "We should talk before tomorrow. Come to the house." I don't respond. There's nothing left to say. Monday morning, I wake before dawn. I make coffee, check that my new prepaid phone is charged, and turn on the financial news. By 8:30 a.m., it happens. Breaking news this morning, the anchor announces, as the Securities and Exchange Commission and Department of Justice announce a major fraud investigation into prominent law firm Greenberg, Phillips and Wade. Multiple senior partners have been indicted in what authorities are calling one of the largest legal fraud schemes in recent history. I watch as Walter's face appears on screen, followed by the other partners. People I've worked with for over a decade. People I've dined with, whose children I've watched grow up, whose secrets I now know too well. My phone begins to explode with notifications. I turn it off without looking. The SEC press release goes live at 9 a.m. exactly. My immunity deal is not mentioned, but it's only a matter of time before my role becomes clear. I wonder how long it will take Margaret to connect the dots. Not long, as it turns out. At 9:47 a.m. there's a pounding on my apartment door. When I open it, Margaret stands there, her face pale with fury. "You knew," she hisses. "You fucking knew." I step aside to let her enter. She storms past me, phone in hand, open to a breaking news article that details the complete asset freeze of all senior partners and the anticipated collapse of the firm. "The shares are worthless," she says, her voice shaking. "The firm is finished. And you let me demand them in the settlement." "Yes." "Why?" She looks genuinely bewildered. "Just to punish me?" "No." I sigh, suddenly exhausted. "Because the truth wouldn't have changed anything between us." "You don't know that. If you had told me." "What?" "You would have stayed. Supported me through losing my career and starting over." "That's not who we are anymore, Margaret. That's not who you are." She flinches. "So this was your revenge? Letting me walk away with nothing while you had a golden parachute?" I laugh, a hollow sound. There's no golden parachute. I have immunity because I cooperated. I've surrendered my law license. Everything I've built professionally is gone. Understanding dawns in her eyes. You were the whistleblower. I nod. But why? You were on track for senior partner. Because it was wrong, I say simply. They were stealing from clients. Using the firm to facilitate massive tax fraud. People trusted us. She stares at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. People get away with this kind of thing all the time. Not from me. I meet her gaze steadily. Not with my name attached. Something shifts in her expression, not quite respect, but recognition. You could have warned me. Would it have mattered? You wanted out because I wasn't ambitious enough, remember? Finding out I was about to lose my career wouldn't exactly have changed your mind. She sinks onto the couch. What happens now? The divorce is final. You get the house, though its value might drop when the market realizes a disgraced lawyer owned it. The alimony won't last as long as planned. I can't practice law anymore, so my income will be significantly reduced. I pause. I'm leaving the state at the end of the month. Just like that. 15 years and you're walking away. You walked away first, I remind her. I'm just making it official. She looks around my sparse apartment, taking in the stacked boxes and empty walls. You really don't care about any of it, do you? The status, the money, the reputation. I cared about us, I say quietly. Everything else was just context. The silence stretches between us, filled with all the things we should have said years ago. Finally, she stands. I should go. My lawyer will be calling any minute with crisis management options. At the door she pauses. For what it's worth, I think what you did was honorable. Stupid but honorable. I almost smile. Coming from you, that's quite a compliment. After she leaves, I open my laptop and check my email. There's a message from a small environmental law nonprofit in Oregon responding to my inquiry about legal clerk positions. They can't pay much, but they need someone with corporate law experience to help fight industrial polluters. It's not the career I planned, but it's a start. A clean one. As I begin to type my reply, I realize that for the first time in years there are no secrets weighing me down. No compromises eroding my core. Just the simple truth of who I am and what matters to me. Margaret never understood that some kinds of ambition can't be measured in square footage or vacation destinations. But I think as she left today, she finally saw me clearly. And in the end, that's a victory more satisfying than revenge. Please like and subscribe for more great revenge story videos. We appreciate your support. We'd love to hear your family drama and revenge stories. Please feel free to share in the comments.